That did not go to plan at all. Funny story, I ended up actually putting the driver's side wiring loom on the passenger side. The fact that the ignition parts on this car were older than a lot of people that watch these videos, that says something. Hello everyone, welcome back to Your Favorite Garage, and welcome back to part 3 of Project Stella, my BMW E38 750iL. Behind me is the wonderful 5.4 liter M73N that BMW made in the late 90s and early 2000s. If you aren't familiar with this car, go back and watch part 1 up here, where I bought the car. A little bit of context, I bought the car in Rhode Island back in August of 2023. Since then, we haven't done too much outside of regular maintenance because I was waiting to do an overhaul style video preparing for Tex Fest. Originally, I wanted to do this last year, but timing got away from me. And so this year we are trying to prepare as much as we can for October for Tex Fest, essentially a glorified cars and coffee for classic BMWs. So in order to do that, today we're going to be focusing on the mechanical bits. I need to do an ignition servicing. The car's been misfiring, or at least it says it's been misfiring. Clearing codes says that they come back. From what I can tell, the ignition service is quite old. So we've got all new everything. Ignition coils, spark plug wires, spark plugs, distributor caps, rotors. Also going to be doing the fuel filter as well as new engine filters. This is going to be a lot, so let's start with the fuel filter and jump underneath the car. All right, so got this vacuum line out. Not too difficult, but now we have at least a little bit better access to the spark plug wires. Now that that is out, the fun part begins. How do we get all of these spark plug wires out? Because I've heard that these are not the most fun. Now granted, if these break, that's fine, but I'm gonna do my best not to break them. I think we'll start at the back since that looks the most difficult, see how far I can get my arm in. We'll start with number one, just see how difficult it is to get them out first. The coil pack is right here, spark plug wire number one. Comes out just like that. Not too bad. A touch oily, but that's what we're gonna get the borescope out for here shortly. Let's just get the coil pack out the way. Spark plug wire 2. There we go. That's number 3. No, that's number 2. Number 3. Not too bad. Number 4. Ooh, that one did not want to come out. Number 5. Number 6 looks a little bit difficult. Okay, number 6. All right, now with the distributor cap, we have to take off this cover here. Golly. Now we have to get this cover off and get the distributor cap and rotor out. All right, 3 8mm bolts. All right, well, that is screw number 1 broken. Number 3. All right, now that we've gotten 3 out the way, I'm gonna now take out the wires. So there's 2 10mm bolts to get out the wiring loom. Number 5. And number 6. All right, welcome back to day 2. You join me after a very restful evening of crying and soaking my hands so that they would recover. With that being said, as we left off last night, we've got all new parts in front of me. Basically, everything here is Bremmy, ignition coils, distributor cap, rotor, ignition wires, so on and so forth. If you can't tell, these are blue and the other set is black. Why? I could not tell you. They are the exact same manufacturer and everything. One just goes on one side versus the other. So really wish I could, could tell you why, but in any case, As I left off last night, we need to make sure we have all of the numbers on each side marked down and get all this back in. So with that being said, let's get these all in. New plugs going in, starting from the back. Now we torque down to 23 Newton meters. Spark plugs are torqued down. Now we're going to do the coil pack. New wires going in. Cover the coil pack, connecting the ignition coil. New rotor going in. Make sure I go in with nice and even pressure. Distributor cap going in. Very, very slowly, thread in. All right, distributor cap is in. Now we're going to plug in all of the wires. Fortunately, they're all labeled here, so I'm just gonna follow the numbers. If you did not label them earlier, you can just follow what's on the wires. I did mark a picture on my phone, so I'm just gonna plug them in. All right, got all of the ignition wires in. It is not pretty, but so be it. It gets covered anyways. So now that these are in, we're going to start putting everything back together on this side. Next, we've got the vacuum line that goes right back underneath next to the wiring loom. Alright, then reconnect this guy. Bracket for the oil dipstick tube. Alright, airbox going in. airflow sensor. Can't forget the connection on the side of the box. Put that in now. All right, bank one is done. This is the passenger side and the easy side. So with that, gonna rinse and repeat on the other side. For the sake of time, I'm gonna just do it off camera, but generally speaking, it's the same. Get as much out the way, do it all over again. Alrighty, so got everything back together. Funny story, I ended up actually putting the driver's side wiring loom on the passenger side. The reason I realized it is because the ignition coil wire is much, much longer on the driver versus the passenger. Had to do this basically over again. Driver's side actually wasn't that bad. Yes, there is less space, but you can get around it. The issue I had was that the 6, I guess in this case, cylinder 12 ignition wire boot would not come out. And I did everything I possibly could to try to get it out, but it just kept breaking apart in my hand. So this is what ended up on cylinder number 6 on the driver's side. With that being said, everything is now good. Done my once over, I'm gonna do a double over. Time to do a first startup. Gonna do one more once over like I said. Make sure everything's good, and then we will get this beast going. So you'll join me back here in a couple minutes once I take a look over everything. And last but not least, because Stella turned 25 this year, I went ahead and splurged on some custom plates. So in most of the US, cars become classic at 25 years old. I had a couple ideas in my head, and this is the one I went with. I am super, super excited for it. I've always wanted a custom plate. This car means so much to me, and to actually have something that is sort of mine for as long as I keep the car, it really means a lot. So let's go ahead and put this on and take it out for a test drive. Already I can tell the difference in the car immediately on startup. It is so much smoother, and that is saying a lot, because until I finally was able to download Ista, the car didn't feel like it was misfiring. It said it was misfiring on like 3 or 4 cylinders, and like I could feel some vibrations, but I was kind of giving it up to, you know, being a 25-year-old car, and of course engine mounts and bushings and other stuff. A lot translated through the steering wheel. When you were sitting at idle, you could feel a little bit of vibration coming from the engine. Putting my hand on the engine, you could feel a little bit of extra vibration. It wasn't smooth, it was a little bit of like a palpitation, right? It's like a heart. And already I'm noticing just how much more that Stella wants to get moving. Now I'm gonna let her get all the fluids going and whatnot, but with that, the whole point of this episode was to talk about the ignition service. And wow, I mean, it's very hard to translate on camera, but the car feels so much happier. I'm coming up on 2 years of ownership, and I've had little to no issues with the car, but this makes it feel like it's new again. It's just, there's so much less vibration coming from the engine. It's crazy. It's almost like you get used to the noise, and then now it's quiet. And you're like, where did it go? I talked about it in the first time I introduced the car, the difference between the G12 and the E38. And of course, you know, again, 20 years of sound insulation deadening technology has improved massively. That car is absolutely quiet. But this is pretty quiet too. I mean, all I can hear is the hum of the AC compressor. I have some squeaks and creaks, but that's because of some clips that need replaced. At highway speeds at about 80 miles an hour, this car is just dead quiet. Now there's a lot more to come, and with TexFest coming in a few months, we've got a lot to do on this car. There's a lot more that needs to be done. Not that she's not show ready, because I think she's beautiful, but there could always be things done. And so that's what we need to do next. This was just part one. This is just making sure we've got a good base to start with, making sure I understand what the scope of this project's gonna be. All right, putting her in sport mode. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's much, much happier. She cannot be happier. You can tell. As much as I want to do fuel injectors too, honestly, it's hard to find a whole set of 12. You can maybe find 6 at a time, but a lot of the places I'm looking, they run out of stock pretty quick. So other than that, I am very happy. I was not expecting this to be a very big difference in terms of driving characteristics. Because, you know, it's your typical tune-ups. It's what you expect to do on a vehicle that hasn't been serviced in 20 freaking years. Oh yeah. That torque is just comes and comes and comes in waves. This has been a job that I've been dreading, but wanting to do simultaneously. And I am so glad I finally did it, because the cost is so much higher than what I'm used to. Even on the G12 with 8 cylinders, so 8 coils, 8 plugs, that whole service was like $250. This car means so much to me, and I'm really excited to see where it turns out at the end of this. There's just not a lot of content on the V12s, and I'm so glad that M539 Restorations and the forums are alive and well. Because if it wasn't for them, I don't know if I was gonna be able to do this. Yes, I can follow the manual, and that's what I was doing, but you saw what happened. I broke the distributor cap bolt. I couldn't get out the last ignition coil, and I had to go to the forums. I had to say, hey, what are the experiences you guys ran into? And so I'm reading threads from over 15 years ago. And man, I'm so happy this car, but a second chance at living the life it deserves. And with that, let's get back to the garage and we'll close out this video. And so there you have it. Aside from the absolutely stripped, sheared, whatever you want to call it on the passenger side, and also me having to undo my work and flip the ignition wires, not too bad of a job, I must say. Reading on the forums, it sounded like it was going to be a lot worse, but maybe I'm just too deep in the masochism of BMW ownership, and so I'm just used to it at this point. I basically went from the 8th level of hell to the 9th, so not that big of a jump. I can't believe how much smoother the car drives. It's already such a smooth power delivery that it's crazy to me that it could get even smoother. Obviously, Rolls-Royce and Bentley and Maybachs are above this, but nothing beats 2 BMW straight 6s. And with that, that concludes part 3 of Project Stella. I'm really excited for next episode. We actually moved to the inside to work on the headliner. We're going to be doing an Alcantara swap, so we're going to be getting everything from the A, B, C pillars, the sunroof panel, all that off, and going to get it swapped over to Alcantara. So thank you all so much for sticking till the end here and watching another episode of Eurofever Garage. As always, I'm your host, Donovan, and until next time, see you guys later.